Here's a video of things that are comforting for you to watch when you need it. And this video will also be made into a podcast episode for the Lana Blakely podcast. Stores and restaurants that are open 24/7 day. There's something about knowing that there is always a place to go where someone else will be. Hearing the footsteps of your pet. The footprints of various animals in the snow. The warmth of garments that have just been picked out of the dryer. Milk being poured into coffee. When two strangers find each other in a crowded place such as a party and end up having a long conversation as if they were totally alone. Rolling down the window while riding in the back seat of a car. Watering your plants and watching the soil go from dry to wet. Feeling the warmth of the sun against your back. Dog ears, just dog ears. Finding a song that you haven't heard before and it's as if it was made just for you for that very moment. Seeing a single flower grow in a random place. It makes you believe that the seemingly odd and sometimes even impossible things do actually happen. Imagining that the moon is actually following your car, that it's keeping an eye on you to make sure that you're safe. The word butternut squash. Feeling the warmth of holding a cup of hot beverage spread to the rest of your body on a cold day. To think that there was a time when you couldn't even walk or say a single word. Look how far you've come. I'm proud of you. Socks. They're like little hugs for your feet. Did you know that there is a bee species that sleeps curled up in flowers? They say when dogs dream, they likely dream about dog things like chasing squirrels, running after rabbits, and playing fetch with you. The YouTube channel Paint Hours. Red dwarfs, stars with less than 0.4 solar masses, burn so slowly that they might live up to 100 billion years old, much longer than the current age of the universe, and I find that both terrifying and comforting. You've been a good friend. You've done your best. There was nothing more you could have done. Stop beating yourself up. Beauty fades. There's something oddly comforting about that. In fact, nothing is really permanent. No feeling of shame, grief, or guilt will remain as intense as it does when it's recently occurred. See, Sarah Lynn, we're not doomed. In the grand scheme of things, we're just tiny specks that will one day be forgotten. So it doesn't matter what we did in the past or how we will be remembered. That's from BoJack Horseman. The fact that the flame of a single candle can light thousands of other candles. Although the world is full of suffering, it's also full of the overcoming of it, said Helen Keller. Falling asleep in the car and feeling safe. Falling asleep on the couch and waking up with a blanket on. The fact that someone invented garlic bread. Realizing that somewhere there are at least a few other kids that were born in the same hospital as you, probably around the same time, and you may never meet them, yet you'll always share that special moment with them. You entered life apart, but together. The first bite of a crispy fry. Being hugged by someone who makes you feel small. Whiskers on kids. Being outside on a warm summer night. Those mini raindrop races down the car window and rooting for that one special raindrop. And the fact that so many of you can relate to that, we seem to think such experiences are so personal and specific to us, but we share much more than we think. As I read this list to you, it may sound like I'm someone who's gotten stuff figured out, and no one does. I've failed at so many things. Oh, you too? The cute little sneeze noises that dogs make to let you know that they're just playing. Being fascinated by how easily entertained kids are. The other day I saw a kid jump up and down the same rock about 40 times. Speaking of children, we live on a floating rock, and sometimes I pretend like it's moving a bit too fast and I lose my balance. Being childish is comforting. No one thinks as badly of you as you think of yourself. You ever wonder why birds sing so early? Some say it's because the mornings are too dark to search for food and too dark to be spotted by predators, and that makes it the perfect time to sing. If after a long day, no matter how tough or tiring, you can sleep in your own bed at night, things may be better than you think. The Swedish word ro, which means tranquility, peace, rest, quietness. The fact that there are entire boutiques dedicated to tea. Being able to express emotions, to cry is comforting. To shed a tear if you feel like it. We all do sometimes. It's okay. And finally, you. Your presence is comforting to someone.